It was meant to be it was just meant to be B-Fab getting hit by the pipe on her own.
That sounds terrible. Everything you said there sounds terrible. It was supposed to be someone laying pipe in on people. That sounds terrible. Oh, but it's over. The curse is over, right? Phil has made it to our thumbnail. And,
no, the curse was over a couple of weeks ago.
For who?
Can't tell you right now.
What, Statlander? Are you talking about the Statlander one?
Yeah.
That was something you couldn't pass up.
How dare you?
This is actually a wrestler here who actually is topical in the week. Like, but even in this cover, he's still second billing to Elektra Lopez in B-Fab.
I know, because that was the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life. When you know when that happened, I let out a Ted DiBiase laugh.
I let out Sasha Banks laugh. But I was also disappointed.
I'm just saying, like, I enjoy what B-Fab does on the outside by chatting shit and stuff like that, but she had it coming. Her days were numbered.
Yeah. She cheated in this match for no reason. No one asked her to do that. She pushed Santos Escobar. It was Santos, right? She pushed him into the pole, right?
Yeah, she pushed Santos into the pole and then carried on chatting shit and then was just like, who are you? To when Elektra Lopez turned up. I was like, you damn right, who are you two talking to like that? I will hit you with a pipe.
Manny, on a scale of 1 to 10, how upset are you that it wasn't Catalina Garcia?
I don't think my upsetness can fit that scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being the utmost upset. I need a bigger scale with bigger numbers.
But the right person got chosen. The right person was chosen.
I don't even know who this woman is. I've seen her like twice lose.
Yeah, but she seems like the right fit. Catalina Garcia does not fit. And we don't even know if she still works there. You don't even know if Catalina still works there.
And to be honest, I was gonna break the barring of the AEW being the full thumbnail because that happened.
Oh! Right in my nuts.
Could you imagine his voice now after being kicked in the nuts?
Oh, my nuts! Oh, you're gonna get it now.
Why have you made him Irish?
What's that? Irish sound? I just put high pitch. And for some reason, grabbing my own nuts as I was saying that.
I'm Shotzi Blackheart, the ballsy badass, and you are watching the Untitled Manny and Marcus show. Remember to like the video and subscribe. Ow, ow, ow!
Hey! Oh!
Check out the Marcus and Manny show.
I hate you both right now. You guys are ridiculous.
Marcus, what time is it? It's time for the Untitled Manny and Marcus show. I'm Lord Manny Hayes. He's
Marcus, the grand finale! Christian intro. Alright. I'm ready to jump into the show. I'm ready to talk about a million different things. But it's all focused on one. So what do you want? Let's start the show. I don't even know how we start the show normally.
You want to start the show, or do you want me to start the show with why I was feeling myself?
Oh, let's go with why you're feeling yourself. For 500.
I feel like there was an email before from the Dizman asking about worst or favorite barbershop memories a while back.
Mm-hmm.
And I told the story about the first and only time I went to a black barbershop.
Yes.
That guy cut me while lining me up when I had hair. Burnt me, cut me up. And then the reason he said he cut me up because I didn't have that tough African skin.
Uh-oh.
However, today, I needed to sort out this beard situation because it was kind of looking a bit rough and manky. Look at me! It's done properly this time.
Is that it? Is that it? You got a Manny got a cut? Manny got a fresh cut, and that's why you feel to yourself?
Yes!
Understood.
I haven't felt this good in years.
I thought it was an accomplishment. I thought you did something great. I thought you conquered walls. But you now can.
I've been to a barbershop for the first time in 15 years to get my beard sorted out.
Well then. Did you get the hot towel?
No, he didn't do that.
Oh.
He did just spray me in the face with water, just like that. Like,
Goddamn right.
No, like pre-plan cover your eyes or anything. That I was like, whoa.
I'll tell you this: if I was a barber, my two favorite moments would be spraying random alcohol flavors or water in people's faces, or getting the brush and slapping them in the face with the powder.
Yeah, he did that. I think he enjoyed doing that a bit too much.
I feel like that's every barber's favorite moment of the day. Just they brush you up with this powder. God damn it. I love it too. I like it too. I don't know why. I think it's a mutual agreement. You're going to slap with the powder, right? All right.
Please slap me with the powder, please.
Please slap me with the powder, please. The brush.
Bro, we are infants. We need to both grow up.
No, I don't want to grow up. I still want my sucker after my haircut, damn it.
So let's get into the show. Is there any news story you want to cover? Because I haven't made any graphics to them.
Edge costs Gangrel money! That's it. There's no other. If you want more of this story, go look it up on some dirt sheet. But Gangrel was cost money. I guess he said it on his podcast because Edge used the brood interest and AEW was going to bring him in because why the fuck not? And they did it. Which, to me, at the end of this day, tells me WWE has spies in AEW and they knew they were going to bring in Gangrel for that moment and they decided to steal that. It's like, oh no, we're going to use Gangrel properly. We got the music, we got Edge and the fire. So
well,
we're
who do you
not going
think
to
the
be
spy
able to do
is? Who's the spy? Who do you think the
it's
spy
Mark
is?
Henry. It's Mark Henry.
Nah, it ain't Mark Henry.
It's Mark Henry.
Nah, Mark Henry's too nice of a guy.
Nah, he would be the spy though. That's why.
Nah, it's that prick JR.
You think JR is spying?
I can 100% guarantee.
He'll be there from day one. He's been there from day one.
He's still got friends in WWE. I guarantee you get JR drunk enough. I mean, by like 2 beers, he'll tell you what's going on in AEW.
I don't know. I got some Mark Henry.
You gotta do Mark like that.
And maybe even Everrise.
Everrise. They need to stop appearing on the show, you know,
because they have fully infiltrated that company.
They appear on the show way too many times, you know.
This is what I expect from a Dynamite. Everrise, Sting, every single week. That's how I would advertise the show.
Okay, let's get into NXT. NXT kicks off with Cameron Grimes and Ted DiBiase. I wasn't a big fan of this opening segment, to be honest. It was just a lot of brown nosing from the two of them.
It's more like, Ted, you're my inspiration. It seemed like this is something that should have been in the middle of a show instead of starting the show.
Yeah, but I feel like Samoa Joe should have started the show.
Yeah. Do you feel like there was a black cloud over NXT? Because I feel like that's what happened to me. When I'm watching the show, I just feel like there's just shit looming over whether it's contract situations or the Nick Khan threat of overcalling all of NXT. All of that's just looming over it. It just felt like we watched the series finale of Walter Dragunov, and that was the end of NXT as you know it.
Well, that was it, though, wasn't it? It was like the moment after Walter Dragunov. TakeOver just didn't seem like TakeOver anymore. It was like it'd been taken over completely, and that was it. It was done.
We got a match we've seen already a million times, and You know, it wasn't a bad match between Cole and O'Reilly. It's just it couldn't follow Walter and Dragunov. And then you got Samoa Joe in Karrion Kross's best match.
Yeah.
But Joe blew up. And that was more entertaining. Just looking at him going, huffing and puffing, huffing and puffing. But yeah, this opening segment between DiBiase and Grimes was just like, it's here. This concludes their story. It's fine.
Marcus, so me and you both laugh at this moment in wrestling of that Bret Hart DVD of Ted DiBiase versus Bret Hart when he is just huffing and puffing. If everything was turned down, if there was no fans who were back in the Thunderdome, they weren't piping in audio, do you think that's what we would have been hearing in that Joe match?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Joe looked like a man struggling for his life. I wanted to say, can we just give him a round break? Can we get a timeout right now? Pat him on the back, give him some Gatorade, see if he's okay to go out again.
If you don't actually know what me and Marcus are talking about, go find Bret Hart versus Ted DiBiase. I can't remember from when. There's no commentary on it. There's no. All you hear is Ted DiBiase just grunting like he's dying.
Yeah. And you know, it's just amazing. It's amazing.
And then they writ off Ted DiBiase and the $1 million title as Cameron Grimes gives him the title back, and then Ted gives him a replica title as a joke, and then it ends with that Ted DiBiase.
That damn Ted DiBiase. They summed up the story really well. Like, they told the story really well.
They closed it out really well.
It lasted the correct amount of time. They covered all loose ends, and I was fine with it. But it still should have started the show. They should have started off hot with Ridge Holland versus Toothless Timmy himself, Timothy Thatcher, and just start with the match.
I really enjoyed that match. Like,
it was.
I've been spoiled with Walter versus Dragunov, so nothing is ever going to compare to life anymore. I think my wrestling for me has now peaked. Nothing is going to matter.
So wait. I thought wrestling peaked for you in 1994 already.
What was the second win, Marcus?
It was like, I can see old man Manny going back in 1994. Walter and Dragunov. No, you see that old fool? That was in 2021.
By the way,
the way 1994.
The way that you just said that just reminded me of Christian and Kenny Omega's promo when they were talking about 1996 when Cage was given his start by Don Callis. I was like, oh.
Dig up that old footage. They dig up that old footage.
But yeah, I
saw the match.
Yeah, I think Ridge working with both Timothy Thatcher and next week Tommaso Ciampa, it's really going to actually make him look like a monster. However, he does need to change up that finisher because that Northern Grit is just an elevated body slam.
Well, no one's doing the body slam knockout though, Manny. Now that Braun Strowman is out the business, so I'm assuming it's going to evolve to a running power slam by the time he gets called to the main roster. Because we're in the Ridge Holland business down here now.
Well, there was a recurring theme over the weekend. Loads of sleepers. Like, loads of sleeper holds, which I just was like, why is this happening? And then the return of the body slam. I get a clothesline from hell. And then there was a finish tonight where there was a clothesline for the finisher. I was like, geez, are we going back to the 80s where wrestling moves were wrestling moves?
Don't forget that crucifix. Don't forget that crucifix. We got a crucifix in tonight.
We are leaving out the fact that Danny Burch is back, and I hate every second of it.
Fuck Danny Burch. Fuck it.
So, I didn't give him a strike for when he appeared. I gave him a strike later on in the night when he opened his mouth. He needs to be stopped at all costs.
Yeah, this three-man group of Holland, Dunn, and Lorcan were as a stronger faction than when Addict Danny Burch. It was like Addict Sean Spears.
So Index set a date for their wedding in 2 weeks, which is ridiculous. They've only had 2 dates.
Doesn't matter. They have this Vegas lifestyle. They went to Vegas, met each other in a nightclub, probably had sex in that nightclub, got married in a nightclub. Probably gonna regret this 2 weeks later.
Levi says someone needs to bring back the victory roll. No, they don't.
Why not? I love the victory roll.
However, I do like Xavier Woods' honor roll when he does the flip through the ropes and then does a clothesline. I quite like that. But the roll into a jumping clothesline.
Yes.
So we get the Casey Express, which I learned also that's a name we gave them. They don't actually go by that name.
No, they had that name at one point. Manny.
Versus JC Jane and Gigi Dolan. This match was just there. It was okay.
No, I'm more about the post-match antics of this. I am on board with JC Jane and Gigi Dolan being the new version of the Iconics. And then Mandy Rose comes to them in the back to console them after their loss. After looking like 2 kids who have completely given up. And said, y'all tired of losing? Join me. And I go, but you're Mandy Rose. You have never won. You have never won anything.
So
You have one move.
I was going to ask you this question, actually. I was thinking about this yesterday whilst I was in queue when I was buying some stuff. What wrestling move have you missed in the last couple of weeks? And my answer was Mandy Rose and a V-trigger.
So, that's not fair. That's not fair. You can't do that. I have missed that, though. But, let's see. If I can think of a wrestling move I haven't seen in a minute. It might be the Billy Kay throat thrust.
Oh, yeah. Well, do you know when you started talking about the antics? I thought you were actually going to talk about Caden Carter and Casey Catanzaro screaming at the announce table. Caden Carter riding the announce table.
We want our shot, all right? We haven't got a shot. We never got a shot. We were undefeated as a team. We want our shot. And then at that moment, it sparked, who the hell are the tag team champions down there?
Which made me look it up. So,
oh, you looked it up? You had to look it up, too?
No. So, I knew who it was because remember, what is her name? I called her an uncultured swine last week.
Oh,
Zoe Stark, uncultured swine.
I know who the champions was, but then when I was looking, I was like, what's he talking about? And I was like, oh, Zoe Stark.
So, I looked up on Pro Fight DB that there are 2 sets of champions on NXT that may be the worst champions at the moment. So, Io Shirai and Zoe Stark have not had a match since they won the tag team titles in early July.
Damn right. It was July. That's 1 month, you know.
It's 2 months.
Coasting.
It's nearly September. It's September next
week.
It's
still August. It's still August right now, Manny. It's still August right now.
And then the second one. Your boy, Spooky Season himself, Swerve Scott, has not defended or had a match since that night of NXT. Since he won that NXT North American title. Or the national championship.
He fired Bronson Reed. But, man, he has reason. He's involved in personal blood feud business, okay? They are in a war. And it seems like the numbers are getting bigger and bigger for both sides. This will only lead to a death match of some kind.
So Raquel has been waiting on Kaylee Ray to cross the pond, and she's also interrupted by Frankie, who lays claim to the title also.
She hasn't fought nobody, and I think she's 1-2. I think Frankie's losing. I was distracted by Stone's orange suit, his Nickelodeon suit, and he had the little straps again. And I was like, shit, he's bringing this back. But
he's bringing sexy back, Marcus. He's bringing sexy back.
I just think that they need to do something about the tag team titles, and I would give that to the Robert Stone brand, the updated Robert Stone brand.
The updated Robert Stone brand. which leads to this match of Valentina Feroz versus Kaylee Ray, which is basically that bird that got decapitated last time, that left all those feathers all over that ring.
Someone need to touch this girl and get her a new outfit. But yeah, I was like, oh, I remember her. This is Feather Girl. Aw, that's mean. That's mean.
He's not wrong.
Yeah, but Team Dakota is legit.
Wes, we'd like to congratulate you on becoming having one of the few videos that have not included either Marcus or Eric views going through the roof.
Oh, I would like to say Wes is whenever our views are down, we go to Wes for Legends Night. To bring it back up.
Wes is our stang.
Yeah. It's stang. But Feather Girl, I just need to see her decimated in every single match. This match was just whatever.
It's more funnier when you see that when things are flying off.
Yeah, just feathers everywhere. It looks like somebody just ripped through the strips. I'm 100% for her being in a million different squash matches, but I need to see her dominate. I feel like this match went just a little too long.
Like one of my stupidest things that I find funny is, you know, when you like see a puppet or something, and then it goes off screen and like it's about to get beaten up, and then you see feathers fly at you.
Yes!
I'm like, that's the funniest thing ever.
Or like they fall through a shredder and you just see the feathers just flying in there, like, oh my god. That was horrible. And then the actors in the cartoons are just looking away. Yeah. I love it.
So
and I never remember her name. I will never remember her name.
Yeah,
She's
never.
the Feather Girl.
Unless they didn't even put the name card up though. They didn't.
No, they said it.
I only saw it because of the title card. I mean, the Titantron. I was like, oh, let me pause it so I can get the name down.
I just want to sit down with her and just go, girl, you're about to go into combat. Why are you dressed like this? From Brazil. Why are you dressed like this? You're not going to, I can't think of the party in Rio de Janeiro, but you're not going to that. You're not going to the carnival. All right? You're about to fight. You didn't fight with feathers on there.
Wes said he's the Bob Backlund of DSPN. So if you want an autograph from Wes, you have to name all the presidents the correct order to get Wes's autograph.
Well, also, if Wes is the Bob Backlund, it explains why he lost the title in about 8 seconds the time he had it. In that very first match.
So we get to Samoa Joe. He says he's being a 3-time NXT champion makes him the king of the land of savages. He calls out his next challenger, and out comes the baddest man in NXT, Pete Dunne, who tells them to find Regal and tell him to make the match.
Make the match. My contract's up in a week. We gotta do this as quick as possible. Make the damn match.
LA Knight also makes his claim, as well as Kyle, but then he gets taken out instantly by Ridge Holland, who then gets taken out by Ciampa. And then Joe takes out LA Knight.
So I was looking at Joe's title picture and I was going like, none of these guys.
I mean, Pete Dunne is the only one that is a match I kind of want to see.
Yeah. Like Joe and Kyle would be good, but it's not going to be a good feud.
But a match I want to see. Kyle in the back is interrupted by Duke.
Duke Hudson.
And then when he slaps him, Duke beats him down whilst wearing flip-flops. You never get beat down by a guy in flip-flops. You just don't.
It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. You guys head slapped into a locker. It looked like a high school incident. I want to call the principal right away. Right away. He's like, leave me alone. Bah, 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 bah. Oh, shit. Duke Hudson whoops out. He got beat by a man. But
those are fighting words. I'll cancel Legends Night forever. Those are fighting words.
Oh. Rich Holland just like family to Manny. I could go. Duke Hudson is my guy. Don't talk about Duke Hudson. He just came over there being a man because NXT is in the big guy business now, where I saw him, that MMA guy whose name I forgot, who got the upset victory. And
I can't pronounce his first name, but Quinn.
Yeah. And then
It's
Rich
got X
Holland.
in it. How do you pronounce X's?
What is Zion? It was Zion.
Is it? Nah, because I look like Exxon or what?
I think it was Zion. I think he pronounced it Zion.
There was no I in that. It was just XYON.
Maybe it's Sean. I don't know, okay? I don't know. It doesn't matter. But what I'm saying is this. Is that they were in the big guy business this week of Rich Holland and all these bigger dudes seem to be winning matches and doing stuff. Little dudes are taking a back seat. That's what I feel like. I feel like they're sprinkling up the change in here.
Well, you say
Carmelo.
You say that, but the family name remains strong with Carmelo Hayes defeating OJ Styles, Odyssey Jones.
I was shocked.
Do you know how basic this match was? Even though, and then I was still kind of entertained during it.
I'm okay with it being basic. It was solid. It was solid basis. Although I don't really like Carmelo's offense of him just basically going up top, doing like variations of the same move.
Well, that's basically how I play 2K, WWE 2K. Till I run out of stamina. That's a goal to beating me. But I still think OJ Styles, ever since his first match, which I was very critical of, it was very sloppy, he looked very green. Every match he's had since then, he's looked all right, and he's improved on each time. So I can see why Vince has probably got us hard on for him.
But hold on,
I mean, this man.
Think of it this way, though. This was the tape match. NXT wasn't live this week.
I don't think NXT is ever going to be live anymore. NXT won't be live anymore because it's always going to be taped.
I don't know. I think this week is. I think they take 2 weeks, but I think the next week is live again. But I think I could be incorrect. Who knows? But this was a tape show, so you get to see the best of Odyssey Jones. Maybe he was fucking up all through this match. Maybe they reshot it. I doubt they reshot it, but maybe that's why you saw some improvement. It was like, oh, we can take some of this out.
Carmelo Hayes is the new Leon Ruff. No!
Nah, he's a lot... He has a better look than Leon. Leon was very tiny.
He also apologizes for disrespecting Leon Ruff. I mean, the man hasn't got a job right now.
So, Carmelo has the option to go after any championship he wants. My money is he goes after Swerve Scott eventually. He don't want to mess with Joe.
My money is he's going after Kushida, and it'll be the most ridiculous thing ever.
I'm going for a bottle ring title. Ugh, you didn't have to.
So Boa loses to a forearm from Sean Quinn or Zion Quinn or just a big guy.
Yep, Boa is still the worst person in the game. He's ruining T.S. Shaw's name. Xia Li was knocking motherfuckers out. He was hurting people. And then Boa goes there and loses to some guy who I didn't even know. I thought he was just meat from Boa. I was like, they're really building this Boa. Oh, Boa's down. Boa's down. And I was about to say Boa looks solid. In this
no, don't you dare. Don't you dare.
I was saying Boa looks solid in this one. He was throwing them kicks. I was like, Boa's looking okay in this one. And then it's gone.
The day Boa, if we say Boa was had an excellent match or something like that, the logo will be turned upside down because we're in a state of array, state of disgust.
We do gotta have that. The episode of State of, although, you know, I feel like that's what we should do with the NXT logo. Just in general.
Just turn it on.
Because, we have no idea what's going to happen next.
In the back, we had Gargano begging Regal to cancel the wedding, and then LA Knight complaining about what's happened to him, and then Regal both chucks him out, which leads to the main event.
Yes.
Hit Row. Swerve Scott's first match
Row.
since the end of July versus Legardo del Fantasma.
Wait, he hasn't had a match?
No. This is his first
I thought
match
he was-
since the end of July.
Not even a tag match? I feel like he was...
No.
Alright.
I looked it up, Marcus. I had nothing better to do yesterday.
Okay.
I almost made a graphic for you of how little Swerve Scott has done since he won that title.
Well, you gotta keep that low profile. You don't want Vince to notice you at all. at this current moment. Who? We have a North American champion. Yeah, he beat Bronson Reed. Who? The guy you fired?
According to Tiffany Haddish, national champion.
The national champion of the United States title. Eh.
Do you know when Top Dollar had all of Legardo in his arms?
Yes.
There was no coming back from him at that moment. The team is done.
Yeah. You're dealing with a monster. He's the only monster in the group. I understand the strategic purposes of getting a female in there to handle BFAB who was hitting dudes and you don't want to look bad for hitting a woman on TV. You need a size. They should have went big. I need a 505. They need a center. They got a bunch of guards. They need a center.
Who could actually fit them?
Ozzy Jones would be, he's 400 pounds. I don't know.
Maybe.
They need size.
Keith Lee.
Keith Lee comes down in a lucha mask?
I mean, he flips like one.
But yeah, so I enjoyed this match. I thought it was really good. This feud is escalating. I don't know what the end game is because War Games isn't until November, right?
Yeah.
We're not going to be doing this until November.
What I'm getting in the live chat is Wes really doesn't like Carmelo Hayes.
What?
WWE has already wished Carmelo Hayes well in his future endeavors.
Well, that's where they're going. That's the route they've been at, right? Like they put a storyline behind you. They give you some steam. They start calling you the Dark Father. Next thing you know, you're out of there. Although I think if they call Carmelo the Dark Father, people will come at him.
Yeah, NXT wasn't a bad show. It did have vibes of that Takeover Hangover type show that they normally have.
It was a 1 or 2 match show. Like you can go with the opening match with Ridge and Thatcher, and then you can go with the main event, and then everything else was kind of just filler in between. And you know what? I did enjoy Odyssey Jones and Carmelo too. I did. I don't know how I got involved into it, but I think the unknowing of who's gonna win, because I went back and forth. It was like, oh, Odyssey can take this. Odyssey's gonna take it, and then I was like, huh.
No, I had my heart set on OJ Styles. I'm like, OJ,
Yeah.
OJ, OJ, OJ.
Yeah, honestly, I'm gonna tell you, every time a big man was in the ring, I was rooting for Vince. Because that's what he wanted to win.
Let's get him, Vinnie Mac.
I want 2000 OVW to win, okay? That's what I want. I need my Lesnar's, my Sheltons, my Ortons, and Cena's, and Batistas. That's what I need. Not a bunch of Paul Londons and...
Paul Londons. Of all people, you bring up Paul London.
I couldn't think of Brian Kendrick's name.
Why do we continue to bring out dated references on this show?
Because we're old, dated wrestling fans. Eric brought up the arrogance attack from Rick Martel. What's that? That broke the space-time continuum.
I can't forget that. He attacked him with arrogance.
Yes. And I understood the reference because I was like, oh wow, that's a good attack, Eric.
By the way,
weapon of choice from under
all
the
three
ring.
of you were in the same room when you were both texting that.
Yes. So it would be said out loud and then said into the chat. And sometimes what was said in the chat was originally said by probably somebody else.
So before we get into AEW.
I just looked at the chat. What Levi said, OJ comes out in white Bronco. His catchphrase, I did it.
Shout out to Maurice once again watching us live.
Nice.
I actually like this screen capture. me moving my arms about.
That's you in a minute of feeling yourself from. I got a fresh cut.
You don't know. That could be me. That could be me in an alternate dimension trying to impersonate John Moxley.
Hold on. I don't know if you're watching Marvel's What If, but if this was the What If storyline, what if Catalina Garcia was the fourth member of Legardo del Fantasma? And this is how Manny reacted. Like, yay!
I'd be standing. I wouldn't be sitting. You know I'd be standing if it was Catalina Garcia. So Jen has made it into the chat. Yeah.
Oh, what? Yeah. Yeah.
Nah.
Yes, sir.
If you come in like that, you need to do the Batista, yeah.
Da-da, da-da, da-da.
Yeah.
Boom.
Which we learned, which you guys don't see. Eric does the Batista thing during the Sharpshooter's entrance music.
Yes.
No one knew
man...
until we caught him doing it.
Because he walks low.
Dun 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 dun. I walk for miles inside a pit of danger. I'm telling you now,
like
people.
Unnecessary walking for miles in a pit of danger. At least
You
drive
put it up on either Spotify or iTunes whenever you're walking. Watch how fast you start walking when that music hits. Your tempo goes faster.
I believe 90% of Batista's success in movies and in wrestling has been because he's played that song before he started every scene.
Yep, 100%. So AEW kicks off with Orange Cassidy versus Matt Hardy. When they tell you they do new matches, this is not what I want to see.
So, I'm going into this show, and by the way, to start the show, they said CM Punk at least 30 times throughout the show. CM Punk. They were clinging onto that motherfucker like he was their last dollar. Oh,
but you know what? Before you continue, interestingly enough, though, normally they chant AEW throughout like the opening segments and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's gone. It's now the CM Punk show. It's no longer All Elite Wrestling. It's just CM Punk.
It's called CM Punk featuring the AEW rosters.
That's what it is.
AEW is now the pips of the CM Punk as he stands as Gladys Knight. Oh, so here we are at the start of the show, and we're all hyped. We're jazzed from Friday and that amazing wrestling weekend or week we had. And this is CM Punk's first Dynamite. And I know he wasn't going to start the show. That's fine. But I figured this is going to be the most viewed Dynamite in history. I am not starting off with a clown show match. This is a fucking clown show of people throwing money in their pockets and doing this. And it was everything that a WWE fanboy would say, oh, I don't watch AEW. Why don't you watch AEW? And then you put on that match and go, oh, shit like this. Old retired WWE stars, gimmicks of people throwing money, pockets himself, throwing his hands in his pockets, and him reaching his pocket, and him going, I feel like I was watching a scene in prison. How many times people were reaching in their pockets.
Do you know what, though? Like, on paper, when I saw it, I was like, this is going to be shit. This is going to be a shit show. It wasn't that bad.
It was!
Like, no. Do you know when someone goes, you need a C to pass this class? It was borderline. A lot of the time, it was borderline. And despite all the sloppy moments in this match, particularly from Orange Cassidy, when he had to do certain things with his hands in his pockets, like the swanton with his hands in his pockets, and then the pinfall with his hands in his pockets.
I like the finish. I like the finish
The finish
the hands
was
in the
good.
pocket pin.
But it took
That's
too
all I liked
long.
in this match.
It took too long for him to get his hand in his pocket before the pin actually happened, which I felt like Matt Hardy should have been able to kick out.
So, Manny, I'm going to see if you realize the constant theme that I realized. I saw in one segment they had without this constant theme of I need to use old WWE stars in it. Because I feel like that was every segment. I feel like that was their strategy when we're going to use CM Punk. We attract people. Oh, we want to make sure we have all the stars on display. Instead of, trusting their normal roster by themselves. I feel like we should have got a bunch of Young Bucks matches. I feel like they should have went, not to play the word all in. They should have went all out on this show. We're showcasing all the young and exciting AEW talent. But they went the opposite way, showing like all the old people from WWE.
Well, that's an interesting segue because we now move into Chris Jericho. He is bothered that he lost to MJF 3 times. He basically said that he's going to continue until this is over. And then he suggested one final fight at All Out. If Jericho loses, he will never wrestle in AEW again, which MJF eventually accepts.
Manny, I'm not throwing up Wakanda Forever, and I'm not throwing up CM Punk's exes. I already see this is a strike for you.
No, it wasn't.
What? You're so tired of this feud. You say it every single day that you had enough of it.
I'm tired of this feud, but how did I watch this segment, Marcus? At times 3.
Well, that's unfair. That's unfair. I thought.
How did I know? How did I know what happened in this segment? Because I wasn't paying attention to it. I had to look up at another report. This section of my notes is plagiarized.
Wow. The following are not the words.
Thank you, Bleacher Report.
The following are not the words of Manny himself. But this segment to me wouldn't have been bad. I'm okay with the segment if it wasn't involving the Jericho MJF match. I don't want to see Jericho wrestle anymore. I feel like it's just not good anymore. It's just not good. And I would rather not get this match again between them. Even though I understand this one should have been the last feud. This should have been the Labors of Jericho. If it would have led up to Jericho's last match and a stipulation at All Out, I would have been okay with it. But now that he's lost already, and then we're going to another match in which I think Jericho's going to get a win, because I don't think he's retiring at all, I really don't want this. I don't.
Marcus, I think we may have to bring the DSPN title back. I'm witnessing a potential feud that I've seen go on for about two to 3 shows now.
Ooh, what's this?
And that'd be Jen versus Levi.
Oh, what?
So, Jen went with AEW is all WWE wrestling, but I think it should go all entertainment wrestling. Which Levi retorts with WWE is all Impact Wrestling.
It pretty much is. It pretty much is, if you go with that. But they are not Impact, Levi. You need to get it correct. They are TNA. This is not the Impact Wrestling. These are all the...
Bobby's from Impact. Drew is from Impact. Well,
Whoa. These guys were all WWE first.
He was WWE before. The only one you've got is AJ. It's from Impact.
You can do better. You can do better with Joe and AJ and there's several others, but I would say they're TNA instead before I say they're Impact.
And I agree with John. Jericho, retire, you stupid idiot!
He needs to. But I feel like, I'm not saying it's wrong for AEW to use all WWE guys or whatever. I don't care about that argument. It's a stupid argument for everybody. Use the best wrestlers, but I just feel like in this episode, they want to establish they're using all these old WWE talents. It would be one thing to have Bray Wyatt and more of the Malachi Blacks and Andrade wrestling. Some of these guys are... I know they don't have Bray Wyatt yet or Daniel Bryan, but I'm saying they're using the Attitude Era WWE guys or Sting. And Fat John Moxley.
Yeah, he's getting a bit porky, isn't he?
Like, I feel like this episode of AEW was everything a WWE fanboy would say, this is why I don't watch AEW. That's what I feel like this episode was. And, I am probably considered a WWE fanboy, but overall, there's stuff in AEW I like. I just feel like they didn't feature anybody that was like, oh man, this is what AEW is all about. Other than like, you're like, oh, okay.
So, the next match I actually really enjoyed. It was Lucha Bros versus the Varsity Blondes. Even though I do not like the Varsity Blondes gimmick, because they are too old to be pretending they're in school.
I do not like the Varsity Blondes, period. I don't see anything there with them. I like the Lucha Bros. I thought it was a solid match, but I don't really see anything there with the Varsity Blondes. None of them. Not Julie Hart, not Griff Garrison, not Brian Pillman Jr. Only thing I see is he looked kind of like his dad, but that's really it.
Yeah, he hasn't got anything like his dad, though.
Yeah, there's no charisma there. I just feel like I don't need these guys. Lucha Bros can do better.
Yeah. And then we get Jamie Hayter versus Red Velvet.
What is that, Velvet?
This match had too much interference in it. Too
Well,
much. And then I bring the thing that I saw in the mid card mess, which Jen posted about Mike Chioda talking about referees in AEW not following rules and stuff. They're only really there to count the pinfalls.
Yeah, sure.
And the finish. And then Tony Khan's disregard to actually making referees seem important. And then I did a lot of tongue in cheek with AEW fans be like, but I honestly feel like it's true. I genuinely feel like WWE do have a lot of like job out finishes where it's a DQ finish or a count out.
Yeah, ridiculous finishes.
Yeah, ridiculous finishes. They have too many of them, but it prolongs the story. Whereas in AEW, a lot of that stuff, the argument you can say is they don't have those types of finishes, but then they allow all that bullshit to happen where you just look at it and go, you know what? The rules don't apply. And then when they start applying the rules, I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
you can't do it. One of you can't do it from that side, and then you just start applying the rule. Not right.
I believe there's a middle ground somewhere.
There needs to be a middle ground between both
like,
of them. Because
yeah,
they're both
then the
two
beat
sides of
goes
the
too far to
spectrum.
the right. I'm like, oh, DQ bullshit finish. AEW is bunch of bullshit happened. It's still kind of a bullshit finish though. Like, a lot of nonsense happened. There needs to be this middle ground of like, oh, we have matches. DQ should be taken sacred. Like, oh, they DQ'd themselves. Or it's interference. In this match with Red Velvet Jimmy, my problem with this is, I think a week ago, maybe last week, 2 weeks, Red Velvet's the #1 contender for the title. She was made easy work by Jamie Hayter.
She was fine, just a basic clothesline.
Yeah, only to have who ran out at the end of this match? That's Hayter. Statlander to punk out Hayter with like one punch, and I was like, wait, I'm so confused on how levels of this.
Yeah, because they're trying to make her seem like she's Brit's
a monster
enforcer, because Rebel can't do it, and so she's supposed to be the big enforcer, but then she got taken out by a punch. And Maurice said Jamie is thick, but she used to be thicker. She used to be thicker. Yeah, she has become lean.
Lean, mean, fighting machine. She's not George Foreman. I just felt like there was just confusion on who was who. And I think too much is going on with Britt Baker. And what I mean by Britt Baker is good by herself. It was just her. They didn't need to add the muscle to the group. I feel like it's just an extra piece that wasn't there. And I don't understand why she's a heel. Everybody cheers her. I'm so confused on that. Like, I feel like they have misconnections between her and Black of why they are heels. Because it seems like I'm going to cheer them for the stuff they do.
So, I'll read these two out at the end. I'll read the comments just made by Levi and Maurice at the end because they're more review type bits. CM Punk comes out. He says he's no longer being called the voice of the voiceless because AEW has a voice, and there's people in the back that listen. Obviously not about referees, but that's another story.
Yeah, they won't listen to nobody. Can't tell me nothing.
He said if he was a 15-year-old loser, Darby Allin would be also his favorite wrestler.
No, he didn't say loser.
I added loser.
He said kid. Oh, get back up. Back up. Darby's a fan favorite. I don't care what you say.
No, I like
Darby.
I just don't believe anything he does. Like
Darby grew on me. Like, it took a lot for me to get past the booty shorts and his story and him being extremely small and battling these giant guys. But you know what? Fuck it. Let it happen. Even though there's, it can be improved. He doesn't need Sting. That's my only problem with Darby.
Well, it's pointless having Sting around now. But like he said, Darby Allin for him is going to be the measuring stick to prove to whether he is still the best in the world. Which I did say I don't think you can necessarily call yourself the best in the world anymore if you've been absent for like 7 years. The world has moved on.
I'm still doing it. Still doing it. You haven't beat me to prove it. I mean, I lost on my way out, but you still haven't beat me to prove that I'm not.
In
the
theory,
best
he
in the
lost to
world,
Kane, which Kane is technically the best in the world.
The Rock still calls himself the People's Champ, even though he's all about his money.
He then teases that Mr. Bryan Danielson will be coming back as a load of yes chants erupt, and he said that's someone else's stick and to be patient.
So about that, I was like, maybe I'm just over everything and just bored. I'm a smart ass wrestling fan or
Yeah,
something.
hateful old man is what it is.
No, I love Bryan Danielson. Still one of my favorites, if not my favorite. And I have no problem with him going to AEW. Go ahead, wrestle your ass off. Be safe when you're doing it. But the whole uproar, he teased this coming. We've been told this for about a month that this motherfucker was coming to AEW. It's teasing it from CM Punk does not legitimize anything. It just feels like it's happening. It's just happening.
Marcus, the Messiah has come back of CM Punk.
Every word is gospel. I just feel like people made this uproar about he teased Bryan Danielson. I was like, that's fine. But we've been teasing this for months.
In a Catholic church, they'll be that is the gospel according to CM Punk, and they'll bust out the crosses here, here, and here.
What did you think of this Punk segment?
I mean, it was fine. It's gonna be like that for a while, where he's just gonna start taking over the show, and I think this is the turning point where I think when the next batch of people come in, I think the previous batch that came in from the start, like you're looking at the John Moxley and a few others that came on after him, maybe reevaluating their future. Because I think they're gonna start becoming more and more afterthoughts. Which is why I think Mox may be the first one to really go back. Yeah, I thought realistically maybe it go. You know what? I think Hangman may be one to come over and be enticed, or MJF. But I think Moxley might actually just return as Dean Ambrose.
Yeah, but the only thing is the power of friendship and loyalty and the comfort in that locker room. Maybe that can keep people over there going back to the machine that is WWE.
I mean, once you get a family and they can guarantee you money like that, I mean, you go.
You're like, I go in there in a gas mask and do whatever the fuck you told me to do. And what is Cross doing? Psh, I do that too. No, but what I thought of the segment was it's more of a rehash from Friday. It wasn't as good as Friday because obviously it wasn't. It's not Chicago, and it's we've seen it already. But I thought it was a solid segment. He explained why he's going after Darby, but I just thought it kind of overshadowed everything on the show. Like when they offered that 6-man tag to the thing, I'm like, the whole plan is to bring viewers in, to keep people watching, and then you have this.
Marcus, and that comment explains that what I just said in just layman's terms. Friendship don't pay bills.
Happiness don't either. But you know what? I feel. I think they'll be able to keep people longer, but they may piss people off eventually when all these other guys are coming in, though. And like, when CM Punk finished his segment, it was like, that's it, I'm done. Waka waka later, AJ. And he said we have a 6-man tag coming of Darby, Eddie Kingston, and Jon Moxley against the Wingman. I go like. The next segment is like, this is what Jon Moxley's doing? He's fighting a Wingman? Like, that was your big star in the next one, and I feel like, wow, he's being slighted with this. Like, you should have had a big match in that, because considering CM Punk would draw in your most views at that segment, I feel like the next match should have been big. Other than, I'm watching Jon Moxley fight a bunch of guys. All these guys are losers.
Who would you have liked? I would have liked to just had Darby in a singles match after this. I think it would have worked well. Like, you just throw him in, if you threw Darby against one of the wingmen separately, at least just showcasing Darby, because I guarantee you there's a lot more eyes on it. I don't think there's a lot more. I think the views are going to remain the same. But there'd be more. There'd be a few more casuals coming in to see CM Punk, and then he's already mentioned this Darby Allin a lot. Throwing him in a trios match like that, you don't see why Darby's special.
Yeah.
Like we know in the landscape of AEW, Darby's a guy. But for someone that's just coming in to go see Punk, and he's talking about Darby Allin, what makes him special in this six man? Nothing really.
Yeah, and I feel like if you were going to do the segment, I would start the show literally with Darby Allin. That's probably how I would start the show, with Darby Allin, not in a six-man, but in a match that showcase his toughness or why he is dangerous. Because if the casuals walk in and be like, oh, who's this guy? He seems kind of cool, whatever, mysterious. He's taking an ass whooping from somebody. And you showcase why Darby is special. And then you go into the Punk promo or whatnot of like, I can't wait to fight Darby Allin. Then you're like, oh man, that's going to be intriguing. And then you can do whatever you want with something else. I just feel like this was a jobberific show. Like,
yeah, but that was the thing.
There's way too many jobbers on there.
For me, CM Punk was the peak of this show, and then it just gradually fell. Except for a segment that I love, but so we get Kenny Omega. So we've already talked about that trios match. So Kenny Omega and Christian. I mean, there were parts in this which were actually funny, disturbing that they went around the route of Don manipulating a 10-year-old and adult Kenny still letting it happen. But then when Kenny asked Christian, do you think you know me? Twice. I was like, yes! Which led to the beatdown after Don called Christian second best, which I was like, he said is correct, though.
What do you think of the Vince McMahon name drop?
Did it really matter?
No.
Like, did they insult Vince McMahon? No.
No, they actually talked with high praise.
There was high praise of it.
Which I was like, oh, okay, we're doing that. It's not going to go the other way, ever.
Oh, by the way, the 6-man prior to that got striked. So we lead to another trios match with the Gun Club versus the Factory. Strike for everyone! You get a strike! You get a strike! You all get strikes! Because this match was terrible!
Come on, they had the Big Show on commentary, Manny. Yep, that's how I felt. That's how I felt this segment. I was like, no, why are we here? How did we get here? Why are we showing this? You guys need to act like I don't know why this is what I felt like. I felt like I was watching I was inviting company over and I wanted to tell my friend, y'all need to act right tonight. Y'all need to show some respect. I want this fucking house clean. I only want the good plates out. No, instead we brought out the paper plates and plastic forks. None of the good shit on this show. And in this segment with the Gun Club and QT Marshall and the Factory, I'm like, why are we getting this? CM Punk is here, guys. CM Punk. Y'all just entered the Copos in the back. We got to show some respect, all right? You guys, don't bring out the paper plates. We're eating and real food. I've cooked dinner tonight. We're not eating the Hot Pockets. Yeah. We're not bringing out Hot Pockets, all right? Tie the dog up back. We're going to show some respect. We're going to have everything up, and we're going to look like a real family tonight.
Do you know
but no, we fucked it up. We put the Gun Club, Big Show, QT Marshall, and watching QT Marshall lose to one of the Guns when he has to fight the Big Show it all out. Why is this happening?
Can we also, why are they praising Billy Gunn? Like he's still a big deal. Why? Why? But then I feel the man that I said is the greatest person on AEW at the moment, Dan Lambert, shows up again.
I didn't want Dan Lambert. If I were going to show up here with this show, I would not put Dan Lambert because everything he said to me went, Yeah, he's right. 100% about this episode here. This is all that has happened.
Everything he said was like accurate to me, and anything you could go that the Dan Lambert thing was WWE fans be like, but like I was like, even if you rode the fence, you would look at that and go, do you know what? It's kind of true.
Did you see Matt Hardy and Orange Cassidy with their hand in his pocket and throwing money around and Matt Hardy picking up money? Or did you see the Gun Club and QT Marshall? Like he's right. It was terrible.
I hope he is the guy that's able to like turn things around for Scorpio Sky, because his career has gone in the toilet, man. Like I liked Scorpio Sky, but like they have ruined him. Like he's the first tag team champion. He won that whatever thing they called it. It was their like Money in the Bank thing.
The chip.
Yeah. I was just like, what's happened to him since then? Nothing.
Well, here's the story of Scorpio Sky. He had a bunch of start and stop pushes or whatever. Remember when they first started? It was like 3 weeks of Dynamite. They were the tag team champions, SCU. And then it was Jericho versus Scorpio Sky for the title. And it seemed like they were going somewhere with that. It's like, oh, this is doing something. And then it was like, all right, we're gonna bring that back. We're gonna have Scorpio Sky versus Cody for the TNT title. Cody just whooped him and he walked away. All right, we're gonna fix that one. We're gonna give him the Dynamite chip and win that ladder match and make him the most important man ever. And he's gonna turn heel. All right, we got something here. Focus on Ethan Page.
Yeah, I know, isn't it?
And it was like, oh man, they treat him like shit. But hopefully Dan Lambert is the man to bring these guys together.
Yeah, man, I was like, I don't need him. He doesn't need to do anything with Ethan Page. Ethan Page. He can carry his own. Scorpio Sky, on the other hand. Yeah, I don't know about.
He's just floundering. I'm trying to think of who I could compare him to a WWE that just floundered around. Maybe Cesaro?
Yeah, well, I don't think Cesaro minds doing that. But like, I feel
he's
like
a nice guy.
He's too nice of a guy. I genuinely feel like I genuinely feel like people need to start going back to politics.
I think Scorpio Sky is too close to the Bucks. It's like, yeah, it's my friends. I don't wanna ruffle feathers, but guys, don't fuck with me anymore, all right? I'm pretty good at this.
But isn't that the problem when you're friends with the people that employ with you? Like, you don't want to ruffle feathers, but like, you still have shit to take care of.
Yeah, like, there are some people who are just like, I don't know. I feel like he should have been hired.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, it's at the end of the show, and I know I'm jumping ahead. It shouldn't have been Shawnee Lee Johnson running out for the state. It should have been someone like Scorpio Sky. And I'm saying if they would have built him up and kept him as a featured on this show.
Well, we're at the end anyway.
It
was Brock Anderson for Malachi Black. Malachi Black obviously destroys him. and then kicks on in the nuts. Allah.
You know what upset me? I don't know what upset. I don't know if it upset anybody else.
I didn't like that.
He blocked the kick. I was like, no one else has been able to block the kick. But this 60-year-old man was like, God damn it.
I mean, it makes sense why he was Cody's trainer, but he didn't teach Cody how to block that kick.
No. Like, I feel like he should have tried to block it, but it just went right through it. Like, oh, fuck. But, no, I wasn't for him blocking that kick, and we ended with this, and there was no real angle at the end of this. Shirley Lee Johnson runs at the end of the show. Yeah, and I go, why are we ending with that? You were expecting Cody or somebody.
You needed something big there in that show, and that wasn't it.
Luchador goes, Brock got too much offense. He really didn't let it.
He did. I think he got a shove.
He got a shove in the back and then got punched in the corner like 800 times. It was like that scene in The Matrix when the agents are beating up Morpheus in the bathroom. That's what it looked like to me. Just like, oh, fuck. Why am I in this shit? Yeah, that was the show. And I feel like this show missed a lot of opportunities. Just a lot. And I don't even talk about the Dark Order breakup that we had in the back. Or whatever that was.
Oh, yeah, that was dumb. That was really dumb. But like Adam Page said not to help him. They and the other two were just respecting his orders. So
I don't know. Yeah, and I don't understand. And I don't know. I feel like something. And this is, I know we said Rick Martel's a dated reference. Here's an even more dated reference. It felt like a scene out the Little Rascals.
my man is bringing up Alfalfa and the gang.
And Buckwheat and all. That's what it felt like when I was watching the Dark Order breakup segment, in which they were like, "Oh, guys, we should be doing it," and they're blaming each other, and then one of them walk away. I was like, "Man, fuck him." I don't think they ever said that in Little Rascals, but it's always one of those like, "We gotta break up because it's all your fault," or something. And I was like, "You guys are grown men. Fuck this."
Okay,
How
so I
better
did
feel
say,
about CM Punk being back. That's what I cared about.
so I did say I'll bring these up. So Levi said, I thought Dynamite was awful last night. They didn't do the best job promoting their young talent, which we've gone over.
Agreed. 100% agree.
But to counter that, Maurice said, Dynamite was a fun watch. It didn't drag, nor was it dull. I'm not mad at the older talent being used because you want to use your vets every so often to continue to build your viewership, which also makes sense. But I feel like with Maurice's point, you do use the older talent, but then like if these are your older talent, you sprinkle in the younger talent in between. So which they were doing
Which they
before.
did. Which they did in this episode. And here's where I agree with Maurice, but I feel like I disagree with him at the same time. They did bring in the older talent to bring in the views, but then they brought in the younger talent that I didn't want to see. Like, this wasn't your Jungle Boys, your MJFs, your Hangman Pages, your Darby Allens. They weren't really featured like you should. Like, they didn't stand out. It was more like, here's your focal point. Look at that. Here's Sting and Moxley coming out together.
Oh, and
like,
that kid, the one that's rolling with Everrise 2.0, Daniel Garcia. What is the deal with him? He's on every show now. Him and 2.0. Are they... Like, I haven't heard of him ever.
Yeah. This is their what? This is their guy. They're all in on him. And, he came in and did like a run-in shenanigans attack on the back, but I would rather just see him in a match against somebody.
I mean, he had a match on Rampage.
Yeah. But, yeah, he fought Moxley. I didn't watch it. Because Punk was gone. Because Punk was gone. Punk was gone. I didn't have to watch it. I was like, oh, Punk is on TV. But I just thought they should have had... And they featured young talent like Brock Anderson and Malachi Black. I would start the show with that ass whooping. Or something. Put that mid-show. That's not my main event. The main event should have been your guys, Lucha Bros versus the... it's Varsity Blondes, though. It would have been a better main event. I would have booked it different.
Though,
or I would have ended with Kenny and Christian.
To be fair, the Lucha Bros versus Varsity Blondes had a purpose. That was a tournament match, and then the winners go on to face Jurassic Express on Friday. So that match had a purpose, so maybe it should have main evented. Because Brock Anderson Malachi Black is not a main event. Saying that, though, I have watched main events where it's Vince versus someone, so there you go.
But I would have rather end the show. If you didn't have a match to end the show with a main event, I would have ended it with the talking segment, either with Jericho and MJF, or even much I don't care about that segment, or Kenny and Christian. Build your world title. Kenny's just a part of the show. He's the world champion. But I feel like when Mox was champion or Jericho was champion, they were closing and ending shows, and they were featured more. Kenny he feels like the North American championship. Instead of
he doesn't even feel like the North American title. He doesn't even feel like the North American title. It feels like the 24/7 title with
What the fuck? That's really low. Come on. Give him Intercontinental.
No. I see. I don't mind Kenny Omega when he's not doing this bullshit. Like when he was in Japan. Bear in mind I didn't watch all the Japan shit. Mostly the January show. That's normally when I tuned in. Least like he was serious when he was when he held the title. It wasn't all this jokey bullshit.
Yeah. And, as the luchador said, Black should have brutalized Brock. If he would have ended with just, like, really maiming Brock Anderson, I would have said, oh, that's why we ended the show with that. That is a very bad person right there. He had no reason to go that far. But we didn't really end with that. Matt Hardy looked more battered and beaten than what you call him.
Maurice also said, co-signing with Marcus on that they are portraying their world champion as weak.
Yeah, you know, they could have ended the show. Like, I don't know. I wish that
Well,
the champion was
for
featured
weeks.
as a big deal.
For weeks, though, they've been portraying the championship as like second fiddle to everything else. But even Miro isn't on nearly as much.
Yeah,
Like, he had his promo, and he was like, "My wife will still love me because I'm the champion." like he's fucking hilarious.
I support it. I laughed when he said, like, not even saying what he said. I love his gimmick. I love everything the Miro's doing. It was hilarious when he's like, my wife will support me.
I mean, like everything he does is hilarious, and I feel like he's more than just a video package or a video segment, a taped video segment. He should be one of your guys, but Andy's one of your champions. Like, I feel like I need to see him live against that audience more than what we're getting with him.
For this show, to echo what I've been saying all show, the people in the ring should have been Miro. It should have been Andrade, Black. You know, all the guys you took who were just, kicked out of WWE for whatever reason, or released or left, or whatever the case may be. It should have been all these guys, and you should be featuring some of your time. You shouldn't be having Matt fucking Hardy and the Gun Club, Billy Gunn. It felt like a Saudi show, to be honest.
Well, it makes me wonder, like, do you remember just before the pandemic, or just shortly after it, when things really first when shit really hit the fan first? Everyone was wondering if Matt Hardy was going to All Elite Wrestling. This was like last year. Just last year. And like, look where it's gone.
Like, I don't know. I was so upset with this show. It was just more like, this is disappointing. I was expecting so much more. Like, you have the star. The hottest act in wrestling right now is CM Punk. Trending for days on Twitter. He's what everybody wanted to see. You got him. But they gave you nothing else around it. It was like, oh yeah, we signed the highest free agent in basketball. But then we put no team around him. You got trash around it. Like, oh.
I mean, that sounds like the New York Jets every year. Hey guys, we got a top 6 draft pick. We're getting a new quarterback. We haven't got an offensive line.
What offensive line? So that quarterback that we drafted is gonna get his brains splattered all over the fucking surface.
I'm telling you now, watch.
When he's actually good and he gets a line, he's too injured to actually do anything.
I'm telling you now, watch Sam Darnold be a success at the Panthers.
It's nice when you're not getting hit all the time.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, time.
Oh my god, I'm not running for my life.
Yeah. Before you have 3 seconds, 4 or 5 seconds before someone attacks you? I have 8 seconds. Like, it's just bad.
Yeah, look, we got that problem here with the Chicago Bears.
Yeah. The Bears haven't had a quarterback in 40 years.
Wait, this is a sore subject, alright? There's a sore subject. The Jets for me, and I believe the Bears for Maurice, and possibly a Lucha Talk.
And here I am, a Green Bay fan who just seems like we get a new quarterback every time the other one leaves.
Well, I'm
for
just
this
saying,
time, I'm worried.
It may have been preseason, but we beat you in preseason. Yes! I'm holding out for preseason victories now because we ain't winning more than 3.
I'll give you 4. I think you guys will get the London game because no one knows what's going to happen there. Jet lag is going to get the other team.
I mean, we're playing the Falcons in London, which I'll be going to, but we'll lose.
Atlanta Falcons.
We'll lose to the Falcons. And I'll be bitterly disappointed after spending that much money. So that is the end of the show. Do you know what? If I even Maurice talking about football, maybe we do a football show. McMahon was questionable. We never had a QB until now with Fields. Shake.
You guys should do a football team, the sad teams. The teams that never win. Like, we're just
The
at the
teams I
bottom
want to
of
talk
the,
about. The teams that
the
no one
bottom
ever
of the
talk about.
stairs. It's not lottery picks. It's the draft teams. The
Top 10 draft teams.
You can't show the top 10, but yeah, we're talking about the draft. That's what we get every year.
I mean,
Like, oh man.
the Jets somehow managed to fuck up getting Trevor Lawrence. Which made me angry. But that is the end of the show. Maybe we do a football show. Who knows?
I think for the start of the NFL season, we do a preview show of what's going to happen, and most of the time that never comes true to anybody. Especially Cowboy fans.
Maybe we do that. We have got a few weeks till that happens. So, yeah. Keep an eye on the channel.
That's 2 weeks away, Manny.
I mean, I'll be back from Ireland by then.
It's true.
I'll be back on
Although,
Monday.
I like that we're trying to book things 2 weeks away. We also have long-term booking. We're booking for October, Manny. We are booking October.
Oh yeah. Marcus wants us to live stream the Saudi show.
Wow, you threw it on me. I thought it was a team effort.
To be fair, I said I would do it, regardless if you were doing it or not. Because it would be happening during a daylight time where I didn't have to get fucked up to stay up late and watch.
Oh my god. So we're live streaming Saudi. Why?
Yeah, it's going to be October 21st. It will probably replace this show.
Yep. No one's gonna watch. They're gonna watch Goldberg versus Lashley 2.
In the bits we can talk about. We can talk about amongst doing a watch along about bits that happen on NXT and bits that happen on AEW for those that still want that.
But as a rule already, I'm putting out there during the Mansoor title match of some kind, whether it's for the United States title or the tag team titles, there is no talking of any other brand. There's only Mansoor. We're only talking about that match.
We ain't talking about their opponents, just Mansoor.
and also rule 2, where he gives his speech after his victory, everybody has to shut the fuck up. Everybody shut the fuck up and stand up. Yes.
Before we leave today, when you guys watch us, could you send us stuff like this, like Maurice and like Jen did when she was watching us from the airport? It's fun to me.
Man, it's like seeing other people's entertainment setups.
Yeah, that too. We like looking into your homes. Even though I've kind of zoomed into this one.
We should just zoom in one time. Hey, there we are. You're so happy in that one. Earth too many.
I tend to be happy, Marcus. The guy fixed my beard.
Yes. Look at this guy. Look at him. Look at him. Man, you look like you de-aged 4 years.
Well, I feel it. And for those that listen on audio, you will not know what we're talking about. And on that note, guys, I've been Lord Manny Hayes. He's been
Marcus, the grand finale.
Tune in this Saturday for Marcus and Eric, because I will not be on the show, for the Sharpshooters Wrestling Podcast. And if you haven't, pick up some DSPN merch, much like what Marcus is wearing.
Ooh. Yes, much like we're wearing. Also, shout out to the Sharpshooters, who will be celebrating their 20-year anniversary of its inception tomorrow. August 27th. It's the day this show started. And it will end live. Yep. And in honor of Manny's absence, it's a throwback episode of the Sharpshooters. We're just going to put a rerun on. It's not going to be
We'll just put a rerun. Go find the Canceling Flight episode and just play it.
Why are they talking about Bill Y and Kane?
That is the greatest episode of the Sharpshooters from yesteryear.
Yeah.
Or there was an episode that I remember where there was a resurrection of I think either The Undertaker, which involved Kane and Papa Shango and various
Yeah.
other mysterious characters.
Yes. It took it all of it. So we made it. We're going to it. Congratulations to us. Applause. We did it. 27 years into the game. I don't honestly know what year we are. I think it's 2005. What, 16? That's 16? That's the way math works. Yeah.
That's the way maths work. Okay, so on that note, guys, peace.